Hey coin collectors, welcome to another joint video between the Big D coin channel and DC coin channel. And this is of course the Yellowstone 2010 United States quarter. And we're going to take a look at that and talk about where it came from and how they kind of set it up. But first let's talk about the idea of these United States quarters, the so-called America the Beautiful quarters. Now, the United States Mint changed up the quarter from the old quarters in when they started the United States, the 50 state series. And so they started that in 1999. And so in 1999, they moved away from the old quarters, and the old quarters looked like this. So this is an old quarter with the P next to it. And I'm going to show you this P again in a second. P for Philadelphia, of course. So this is the old quarter, and let's look at the front of the new America the Beautiful quarters. And you see that they stretched out where the P goes. It looks like the same image, but it's smaller, and it says different stuff on the front. And in fact, it is the same image, and it is smaller, and it says a little bit of different stuff on the front. And this is, when you look for this coin, and you look at the initials on here, and you'll see that that right down at the bottom, there's a J and an F on this coin. Let's see if we can see that. JF for John Flanagan. He's the original designer of the front of this coin. So that's the P. And then there's also, they had a D coin, and that's the Denver. And you'll see again, I'm going to show you the P and the D for the Yellowstone coins that we're going to look at. And you'll see that the P and the D are put in different places. And then, of course, when we go on to the back, we see that there's an eagle. It says United States of America, E pluribus unum. He's holding a shaft of arrows over a olive wreath. It says $quarter. When we get to the America the Beautiful quarters, we see it says United States of America on the front, not on the back. It says In God We Trust here on the front, Liberty on the front, and $quarter on the front instead of the back. So they moved the United States of America to the front. They moved $quarter to the front, and they left E pluribus unum on the back. And this is the first of them, the 2010 Hot Springs, Arkansas. Now, they not only have the America the Beautiful site, which is Hot Springs, often these are national parks, but they also have a state on here, and we'll talk about that with Yellowstone here. So here's the Hot Springs, E pluribus unum 2010. The first of the America the Beautiful quarters is this quarter right here, the America Beautiful Hot Springs, Arkansas quarter, and we see that it is a copper nickel clad copper with a copper center. Now when we go to look at the Yellowstone one, we look at the back and it says Yellowstone. It says Wyoming over here, E pluribus unum, and we look in here and we see what they call a mature bison, or what many people call a buffalo. And there is a technical difference between bison and buffalo, I suppose, but let's call it a buffalo or a bison. And then in the background we see Old Faithful, the geyser, and then another buffalo or bison here, and then a mountain range back there and a lake here. Not a lake you want to swim in, because it's going to be a little bit of the water's not going to be clean water. Let's just put it that way. It says Yellowstone at the top, 2010. This is the second of the America the Beautiful quarters. This is a Philadelphia Mint Yellowstone. And here's another Yellowstone here. And this one actually looks nicer. It's not quite as shiny, so we get a nice look at it. We see how they flatten out the bottom. So this is kind of an infused lettering with an image here. And this image, when we're looking at this image, this is also not obviously a John Flanagan image. And so when we look at the images, we see that they are done by different artists on different engravers also. And so when we tip it up, let me see, there's some initials right here. And so let's look at this P in this. Oh, what's this one? There it is. That's a P. That's a P. And let's see if we can find the D again. Here we go. Here's the D. All right, so we have a D and a P, and I mixed them up somehow, and so we'll show you the back of that too. So that's the 2010 D. This is the 2010 P, and then we wanted to talk a little bit about the state on here. It says Wyoming. Now, of course, many of you know that Yellowstone National Park touches on Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. In fact, Montana was maybe a little miffed, but Old Faithful is not in Montana. So if we're looking at what many people know Yellowstone National Park by, which is the geysers and in the kind of southern or southwestern section, that's in Wyoming. It's not in Montana. So Montana does get its own, so don't worry about it. But Yellowstone on the coin, the state is Wyoming. Now, there are other coins with a buffalo on it. In fact, here's the Kansas buffalo from 2005, or bison, in the state quarter series. And then there are other national parks and national monuments. And of course, there's Yosemite is one of them that's coming up. Yosemite is actually the third one. So it goes Hot Springs. Let's find that Hot Springs again. Then it goes Yellowstone. And then the next one up is Yosemite. And we will do a Yosemite video coming up soon. All right. Have a great day from Big D Coins and from DC Coin World. And hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.